Da-da-da-da-da-da! Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween!
Nameco here, Dustin there. It is our annual Halloween show. Go ahead, boss. Throw it right down the breadbasket there. Go ahead, hook them up a little something.
Thank you to our sponsor, MyBookie.ag. Most trusted sports book on the web. All your sports books needs. They have a very good mobile site. Works on your cell phone very nicely. Place all your bets. They also have online casino on there. Check out the link in the description. Use promo code SMACK. Get a little sign-up bonus. Check out mybookie.ag.
All right, looking at the quarterbacks, Deshaun Watson is number one, and he's a beast. But I'm going down to number two, and that's Russell Wilson. He's been playing a lot better, and they had a ton of road games to start the year, which I think really hurt some of his numbers. He's coming into his own as of late. He's home again, playing Washington, who's got all kinds of injury problems on both sides of the football. I think what we saw out of Wilson last week and what he's been doing at home is the Wilson we're going to get again this week. Coming in at number two, he's a stud start week 9.
Number 5, Carson Wentz. You know, I know a lot of people are looking at that matchup and getting a little bit worried, but he's at home and he's been consistently a top 5 quarterback pretty much the entire season. So don't get too scared. Don't do anything crazy. Don't overreact just because of the matchup. The Denver D hasn't been as good as years past this year. So we still got Wentz in our top 5. And a shout out to our Week 8 FanDuel winner, King Cobra 1969. Shout out to Mike as well. He's finished in the top 10 2 weeks in a row, but we can't get that W. But King Cobra's going to get their shirt. They're going to win the money from the tournament. And if you want to get in there, click the link in the description. If you haven't signed up already, sign up, deposit $10, play. It's a lot of fun.
What's the first thing you think of when you think King Cobra?
Karate Kid.
That's Cobra Kai. Terrible.
But that's still Cobra.
I think of the golf clubs. The golf clubs?
Yeah, that's good.
If you know the golf clubs out there, besides hating on my plunging V-neck, leave a comment about that. All right, going into the running back rankings. Going with Mark Ingram. We got him in our top 10. I don't want you to be scared of the fumbles. I don't want you to be scared of what Peyton's, because Peyton came back and said he's going to fumble, but he's been a beast. Dustin's a little scared of him because Dustin likes Kamara a lot more, but I think Ingram's going to be just fine. I think the volume's going to be there. Now, if he fumbles early, it should be full-out panic mode. With so many people on a bye this week, Ingram is a must-start, in our opinion.
The reason I like Kamara more is because I think the coaching staff likes Kamara more. That's why.
It's because you traded me Ingram. He's better.
I'm not bitter at all.
Better.
I'm not bitter at all.
Bitter Pop-Tart.
Number
That's
19.
what he is, by the way.
Number 19, Alfred Morris. I know a lot of people that own him are going to be curious if they should be starting him. Obviously, at this point, with the latest reports coming out of the two, you got to have a little bit more confidence in Morris and McFadden, but it's going to be somewhat of a heavy split, we feel. My guess is 60-40 going to Morris. But he has been good this year, averaging over 8 yards a carry. Now, he's only had 13 carries, and one of them was a 70-yard run, so it's a little, not the biggest sample pool, but he has been efficient. And out of the two, as of right now, we say Morris. He's a low-end RB2 for this week.
I actually think McFadden's kind of sneaky because the reason McFadden hasn't played all year is because they knew the suspension was coming. They thought it might be, so they wanted to keep him healthy. I think he's going to be activated. I actually have a sneaky feeling McFadden's actually going to get more run. But we did rank Morris ahead because that's what all the reports say. That's what Jerry Jones said. It's pretty much what the coaching staff said. So random gut feeling for me. Ducks on the pond, Dustin. Ducks on the pond. Oh my God, this thing's shedding. Is this your original glove? It reeks, by the way. Is this from when you were a kid?
No. Talk about Drake. Come on.
Drake! Ajayi, gone. They traded him. They got him out of town. So it was going to be Drake Williams. Who's it going to be? It does look like Drake's going to be the guy that's going to get the first shot to be the man out there, But due to the fact that their run game hasn't been great this year and the fact that he is a lesser talent than Ajayi, and Ajayi hasn't been amazing, that you put him there. Sure, Drake's got a little bit of a burst of speed, but you got to look out for him and Williams. Timeshare splitting again with so many people on a bye this week. He is an RB3 for us, so he's in flex consideration, but just don't bet the world on him because why would you?
And one spot below him, Jay Ajayi, with his new home with the Eagles. Not going to be the easiest matchup for him with his first game as the Eagles. And they're already saying that Blunt is still the man, at least for now. Even if Blunt wasn't the man, going up against Denver, Denver's run D has been absolutely amazing. Their defense in general hasn't been as good as in years past, but their run D has. Unless you are desperate, I'm staying away from Ajayi this week. And if you got other lineup questions, post them in this video. We've been answering a ton of them. trade questions, all that stuff, post them in this video, and we will be on there Sunday mornings as well for any last-minute ones. Wide receivers.
Going over to wide receivers, going to be talking about A.J. Green here. I know it's a tough matchup with the Jags, but A.J. Green, he's a stud. You got to start him. He's averaging about 14 points a week in standard leagues, and 3 out of the last 4 games, he's found the end zone. I know that they're going to roll coverage, and you got Ramsey, but him finding the end zone is not out of the realm possibility. Start your studs. A.J. Green has to be in your lineup.
And at number 14, a guy that used to be a stud, but with Rodgers gone, he's a big question mark. Jordy Nelson, it's tough. What do you do with him? I mean, they're coming off the bye. You got to think that, they've been working. He's getting a lot more time with Hundley. You got to think they got to be more on the same page. Good matchup against Detroit. We got him at 14. He's a wide receiver 2 at this point. In most cases, you're still starting Jordy Nelson. He's still a huge touchdown threat every week.
Next, going to move over to Mr. Benjamin. Now with the Buffalo Bills. Couldn't believe the Carolina trade him. I thought that really came out of nowhere. A little insane. But the Bills are saying he's going to move right in. He's going to play the Z. Or not the Z. He's going to play the X. So he's going to be there on the outside. So in theory, what are they going to do? It's such a short time. But how many routes and plays is he really going to learn? But for a receiver, it's a lot easier than, kind of a running back coming in that has a whole bunch of blocking schemes they have to worry about as well. I think he does play a decent amount of snaps, but he's not going to play his full accompaniment. So there we have to rank him as such. They will take 1, maybe 2 deep shots with him. Tyrod can throw a decent deep ball, so he is kind of a boomer bust. I actually like him in daily as well for that reason.
At 32, Jamison Crowder. He finally had a good game.
Hey, welcome to the NFL season, Crowder.
A solid game for him. And now he's banged up. He missed practice today, and he's got a matchup at Seattle. And, Seattle's D hasn't been as good either, but it's a little bit scary. Cousins didn't look all that good week 8. So I think be a little excited that he had a good game, but you're not starting him this week unless you're down at this range with 32 wide receiver.
Moving over to tight ends, talking Evan Ingram, and we've said it before, with Odell down, with Marshall down, who are they going to throw to? And it has been Ingram. He has been getting the targets, which you have to like. But the real question is, who would you start in a 0.2 PPR, Evan Ingram or Jordy Nelson?
That's my debate this
Dustin's
week.
been asking me that. And you know what? At first I was like, you got to go Jordy. But do you? Do you got to go Jordy?
It's hard. Help me out, community. Who would you start? Number 6, Jack Doyle. This guy has been Brissett's best friend as of late. Double-digit targets in 2 of the last 3 weeks. Monster game last week. Nice matchup against Houston. We got him securely in our top 10 at number 6. We think he is definitely a tight end 1 this week.
As we move over to defenses, I'm talking about that Seattle-Washington game. Washington traveling across country to Seattle definitely scares me. Seattle with his 12th man at home definitely scares me for Washington. Over-under of 45.5 according to
MyBookie.ag.
That is right. And Seattle's a 7.5 point favorite. So Vegas is not giving the Redskins a big hope for a ton of points or even coming out necessarily with a win with this going across country. Seattle, definitely a must start this week.
And at number 9...
Although I do like Cousins, I do think the Redskins do have a shot, but just based on the numbers and everything else, you got to go Seattle. Sorry.
There you go. Number 9, I got Detroit. They're at Green Bay. Detroit's defense has been extremely good in terms of just scoring fantasy points. The over-under MyBookie.ag is 43. Lions are favored by 2.5 points. So, they're not expecting a ton of points in that game, and I think... this could be somewhat of a sloppy game in terms of the defenses maybe outplaying the offenses. I don't know. It'll be an interesting game, divisional game. You never know. But Detroit, their D has been putting up some points on the fantasy board. So check them out at number 9. Come that thing on in here.
All right, here we go. There we go. There in the middle. Dustin, what does ducks on the pond mean?
Runners on base?
What bases? If you know what ducks on the pond is, leave it in the comments. You want to hit this? Is that what you're doing? All right, ready?
Can't see very well.
All right, it's going to be a perfect toss. Perfect toss. We win the game!
What's your favorite Pop-Tart? Mine's obviously brown sugar. Cinnamon,
I thought you were
brown
asking
cinnamon
me.
sugar. Brown sugar cinnamon.
Cut my head.
Oh yeah.